And as I've gotten older, what I realize is that the best decisions are the ones that are really instinctive and the most simple.
Well, I was also curious. So do you see merit in any of the other crypto assets, in particular Ethereum?
No.
And why not?
It's kind of like when you have a bellwether instrument, um, the gains typically go to the winner. So I'll use an equity example to make the case. When Obamacare passed, there was going to be a clear tailwind to health insurance. And, you could have bought a basket of health insurers, or you could have just bought United Healthcare. And the basket would have performed okay. United Healthcare 10x'd in the last 10 years. If you believed in smartphones, you could have bought a basket of things in 2010 or 2008 or 9 when the iPhone first got released. You could have bought, Nokia and Motorola and Samsung and HTC, or you could have just bought Apple. And Apple, frankly, just crushed everybody else. The point is that in any market, when there's a clear winner, it's not that these other things can't win, but there's a weird psychological effect that almost drives these second and third tier winners, which is a desire by people almost out of this sense of insecurity to not want to admit that there's a winner simply because they weren't the one to pick it first. And so what they do is they create these convoluted narratives and theses to basically anoint other winners. And yeah, can they win? Sure. But do they ever win like the category killer? No. I mean, do you really want to be long Lycos and DuckDuckGo, or did you just want to be long Google? There has been not a single market where you've been rewarded as handsomely for being long the number 2, 3, and 4 player as you are for being long the number 1 player. And again, it goes back to when things tip and go mass market, the average buyer makes the simple decision. And the simple decision is to go to the category defining winner and then set it and forget it. And so if you really want to make the money, my view has always been you find the one that's about to win: Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, and you buy it. But what you don't do is try to do some convoluted spread trade or, long the number 2, 3, 4, 5 person, hope that it's just really, honestly, you can make a little bit of money, but there's so much brain damage and pressure and complication. It's just never worth it.
So you essentially view all the crypto assets as kind of like one category. Like you don't break them out into separate categories, because a lot of people would say like Bitcoin is a currency and Ethereum is, this platform just for decentralized applications, and they don't view them necessarily as competitive. I mean, there are of course people who do view them as competitive, but a lot of people just see them as fundamentally different things. But
I'll give you a different example. You could look at Mercado Libre as an incredibly complicated, and valuable delivery platform for Central and South America. And you could look at Wayfair as an unbelievable example of, furniture bought, purchased, and designed over the internet. I look at it and I'm like Spanish Amazon and furniture Amazon. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just buy Amazon. I honestly, Laura, this goes back to a philosophy of mine, which is what I've learned over time is that, I've really made my life much harder than it's needed to be. And I've overcomplicated a lot of decision-making in my life. As I've gotten older, what I realize is that the best decisions are the ones that are really instinctive and the most simple. And you can use enormous amounts of data, and you can find all kinds of clever ways of slicing and dissecting things. But at the end of the day, the simple decision tends to be the best and the most defensible and the most enduring decision. And one of the simplest decisions that you can make is to buy the category winner and wish that the whole category does well. Because if it does, as long as the category winner stays on top of the category, they will get the disproportionate amount of the gains. And that's just been completely true in markets, since time immemorial.
And I was also curious, have you been watching what's been going on in DeFi?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, okay. Well, then
But I own Bitcoin. Boom.